Hi, yoga friends. Michael Miracles here of michaelmiracles.com. Has yoga had an impact on your life? Are you looking to expand on that connection and maybe even share it with others? Or maybe you just really love what yoga's been doing for you and you want to go deeper. I've taught yoga full-time for over 8 years. I'm in ERYT 500 with the Yoga Alliance, and I've taught over 1,000 classes. I've taken part in 10 trainings, tested all these methods, and figured out what works and what doesn't. All of this has culminated in Unity Vinyasa teacher training. Take control of your yoga practice today and start changing lives. Go to michaelmiracles.com/teacher training for more information. Hi, Michael Miracles here of michaelmiracles.com and Unity Vinyasa teacher training. I'm here to share with you 3 things that you can drop to cut out of your teaching that'll make your classes so much more effective and have you feel more connected to teaching. And disclaimer, you might feel pretty attached to doing some of these things. I know because I used to do these things and it took a little bit of convincing for me to drop it. But once I let these things go, I immediately saw that my classes were more powerful. I felt more connected and I actually enjoyed teaching it more. Number 1, don't practice and teach at the same time. Don't teach from your mat. When you do that, you're limiting your ability to teach. You're limiting your ability to practice yoga. Multitasking can be done, but at the detriment of the things that you're doing. Focus in on the teaching while you're actually teaching and find some other time in the day to practice. When you're on your mat and doing the poses, you might be able to peripherally catch some of the students in your eyes, but you can't see the whole class at the same time. And when you're positioned correctly in the class, usually at the front of the room, or if the students are facing one side of the room, position yourself there. So you're seeing the class and can teach from what you're seeing. When you're teaching from your mat, you're teaching from a past experience. Now, beyond just being able to cue better and to feel like you're more in command and everything's flowing better, the students will actually appreciate that extra attention. Whether it's consciously registered in their minds or not, it's felt. When you're truly watching and speaking from what you watch, it has an impact on the students. It has an impact on the entire class. Number 2, keep it simple. Don't worry about coming up with fancy sequences and transitions. Use a sequence that's tried and true, that's effective, but it's not too complicated. And get to know that sequence really well. When you just planned out a complicated series of poses strung together and you're not really sure how they work with the breathing, it really affects the class. It feels disjointed, and it creates confusion in the mind of the student. And that's really what we're trying to minimize. You increase the likelihood of making mistakes, of skipping a side, of not doing the same pose on each side. And then that actually, even if it's on an unconscious, a subconscious level, it breaks your authority. The student doesn't end up trusting you as much as a teacher. And trust is really important. When the student can drop that barrier of, oh, does this person know what they're talking about? They can get more into what they're doing, more into the moment and more into a meditative state. And just stick to a basic bare bones sequence until you've mastered it, until it's like the same as breathing or talking about your favorite thing in the world. The third and the final thing I'd suggest to you, this might be a little bit hard to take, but don't play music in your classes. There's been so much talk recently about having that perfect playlist or classes around hip hop. I love hip hop, but not in yoga. It's not yoga. Sure, in the very beginnings, you can use music to get your mind off of your thoughts, but that's not exactly what we're trying to accomplish in the yoga class. The music is a distraction. So in a way, you're actually training the student to be more distracted instead of more present into exactly what they're doing. It's all about the present moment, and the music has actually been previously recorded most times, or it's happening outside of the student. For me, I love music, so if you're playing a song I've known before, I'll be thinking about what year it came out, or who were the band members, or if I ever seen them live. So that's one area of distraction. Another one is songs have a lot of emotional impact, and that is a distraction. You just never know. A student could have broken up to the song you're playing. That song could have been playing during a traumatic incident in their lives. The other thing that music does is it limits your strongest power, your strongest tool in your tool belt as a teacher, and that's the breathing. Especially in Vinyasa yoga teaching, your biggest power, your biggest tool is having ujjayi breathing, the breathless sound. If you can hear the breath, then your timing drastically improves, and you can also link every pose better with the breathing and link all the students up as a group, which can create a mass meditative effect. The other thing that music does is it completely washes out these moments of silence. Silence is golden. Silence is so important, and silence is so rare nowadays, especially if you live in the city. Especially today, we're inundated with technology, we're inundated with media, we're inundated with stimulus. It's so effective. It's a gift. It's really a gift that you can provide for your students, to just give them a few seconds at a time or cumulatively over a class, several minutes of silence. There's peace in silence. There's healing in silence. In conclusion, remove all the elements that get in the way from you actually teaching yoga and double down, really focus in on what is effective, that really helps your students have a feeling of flow, have a feeling of mindfulness and meditation. It's hard to meditate to Drake. If you have any questions about any of this, or if you want to have a kind debate about some of these subjects, let me know in the comments. If you want some more teacher training videos, I'll be making a slew of these in these upcoming months. Hit that subscribe button and check out some more tips that can help you become a more powerful teacher and just feel a lot more confident in teaching in general. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. The light, the peace, the joy, the unconditional loving kindness within me recognizes it in you. Namaste.